Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of this weekly alts analysis series where we take a look at the most popular altcoins in the market and show you how to easily identify key levels of higher time frame supports and resistances so that you can either dollar cost average in or potentially play some longer term swing trades. So end of the month, last day of the month, obviously both for crypto, traditional markets, and a very important monthly close as well because it's also the end of Q3. So we're going to take a look at the monthly timeframes for BTC, AVAX, DOT and SOL today. And with the altcoins, we're going to look at both the USD and BTC side of things to have a look at some potential areas where we could be going down to if we were to break down from here. So we've got BTC in front of us, and as you can see, it is not looking particularly strong. On the smaller time frames, like on the daily, you can sometimes get a little bit carried away and look at things a little bit differently. But if you zoom out, look at the big picture, the big time frames, the monthly time frame, there's not a lot of strength in this at all. As I say, today is the close, so it's more than likely going to be closing bearish. And if we take a look at where we could potentially end up, if we lose these lows of 18k, where we went down to back in June, then for me the next obvious area is 13k, in and around there. So not only have we got was it the top of this rally back in 2019, but also if we take a look left, it was also the candle tops of the monthly candles of December 17 and January 18, which is obviously the previous cycle highs. So what you could do realistically, if we drop that line and go for our regular box, so if we start it on the top of those candle bodies and bring it across, and what you could actually do is snap it to these candle bodies here in August and September 2020, give that a monthly tag, and that gives you a range of between about 13.5 and just under 12k. I'm going to put it just at the top of that candle body wick actually. So yeah, between 12k and 13.5, which when you look across, very key area of resistance in the past. Lots of confluence with previous price action. So I think that's personally that if we were to drop from here, that's probably the next area for me where I think we'll go, and an absolute great opportunity in my personal opinion for some longer term returns. So great area to be buying if we do get down there. So we're going to do the same now for AVAX, DOT and SOL. As I say, we'll go through the USDT pairs first and then the BTC. So if we go to AVAX, as you can see, previously stopped just short of this monthly resistance up here at $32. We topped out at around, basically $30. But as you can see, monthly time frame not looking pretty at all, looking very bearish. And it looks like we're heading down to this next monthly level of support we've got marked out between, call it $12 and about $9. It was the bottom back here in the summer of 21. Both June and July candles wicked into this area. So that's where I'm expecting price to go next should BTC break its local lows. If we switch to the AVAX BTC chart, again, we've got this really nice rejection of basically 10,000 sats more or less. So the top of the range, 10,500 sats, the bottom of the range, 9,500 sats. And as you can see, the past 3 months we've come into it, rejected. We did wick higher, but ultimately rejected. And this monthly candle, again, looks like we're rolling over. We've topped out, and the next destination for me personally, I think we're going to come down to this 6,500 BTC, 6,500 sats area. Between that and 5,600, and it's also where we wicked down again back in the summer capitulation of June, just a couple of months ago. So adding to that as well, Bitcoin dominance is very low at the moment, so I'm expecting a rally in Bitcoin dominance, which will obviously lead to a big drop in the alt BTC pairs. So lots of confluence there. If we take a look at DOT's in a really interesting position here. It's just resting at the top of this monthly support range around $6. The bottom of that range is down at almost $4, about $3.90. But as you can see, lots of price action in here back in 2020, both September, October, November, till it finally broke out in December. So a lot of confluence. And if you actually knock it down to the weekly time frame, you can see, look, all that price action there. That looks like a golden range for me personally to start accumulating. Obviously not financial advice. Do your own research on the project, and if you like it. But in terms of, you know, a return to all-time highs from here, let's just go for the middle and call it $5. You're looking at 10x. So that's if it goes back to all-time highs. Of course, there's no guarantee, but in terms of risk reward, if you're buying down here, obviously you're putting the odds in your favor. Let's go .btc, and again, very similar picture to what we've seen on AVAX. We had this bounce off the support at around 2,700 sats, and then we bounced up, hit this monthly resistance area between 3,940 sats and 4,000 sats. As you can see, a nice couple of wicks in the monthly time frame, but again rolling over, and it looks like we're heading back down to this monthly support zone between 3,000 sats and about 2,700. Again, you know, Bitcoin dominance looking low, could go for a rally, which would send DOT down here. We may even, if we break that range, we could go down to right down to these wicks here, you know, sub 2,000 sats. But we'll take a look at that if and when that happens. But as I say, for the nearer future, I think that's where we're heading. And then finally, Sol, again starting on the USD. So been holding pretty stable, Sol, to be honest, the past 4 months, as you can see, ranging between $45 and $32, pretty much sideways. You know, one candle's red, the next candle's green, and it just basically you know, wipes out the previous month's progress. But as you can see, I think we are going to have another little drop into this zone of monthly support between $26 and about $19. As you see, we had 3 wicks into there back in May, June and July 21, and we also had a little wick down here in June 21, which came down to about $25. So I think we're going to come and revisit this zone again, and should we break that, not getting too far ahead of ourselves, but should we break that, we'll have a really good accumulation zone down here at $4 or $5. Unlikely we get there, but if we do, again, if you like the project and you're happy to take the risk, obviously the risk reward is in your favor down here. But certainly I think a decent zone is between $25 and $19, and I think we're going to see that soon. And then finally, Sol BTC. Again, the reason why Sol USD has been holding up so well is because the Sol BTC pair has been holding up pretty well. Looks like it might be starting to turn though. We obviously had this big bounce back in June where we wicked into this support area between, call that 11,000 sats and 10,000 sats. But as I say, I think we could be starting to roll over again here. And once again, if Bitcoin dominance does decide to go on a rally, that will certainly send Sol BTC back into this range of support, which again could be a decent buy. You can see the confluence back in the past, this wick here on April 2021, and then these wicks and candle bodies in May, June, July 21 as well, before we finally broke through in August. So definitely an area of interest there. It might take a little bit longer to get down to compared to the DOT and AVAX targets. So that's a quick whistle stop of the monthly timeframes of AVAX, DOT and Sol. Next week we'll go through VeChain and Matic, and then the week after that we'll probably go through the ETH, BNB, XRP and ADA levels. So if you like what you see, obviously like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Come check out the video released on Fridays. If you've got any pairs that you would like to be do some TA on, then drop them in the comments below, and we can certainly feature that on next week's episode. But if not, have a good weekend, and we'll catch you next week where we will, as I say, we'll go through VeChain and Matic monthly targets. So we'll see you then.